Good day, and welcome to this SAP HANA Academy video on the installation of SAP HANA Smart Data Streaming. We will look at a number of considerations for the installation of Smart Data Streaming, including hardware considerations, software considerations, and any considerations relative to your existing SAP HANA install, should you already have one. Additional detailed information on the installation of SAP HANA and the Smart Data Streaming option can be found in the documentation at help.sap.com/HANA_platform. Let's look at hardware. A common question from customers preparing to install SAP HANA with the Smart Data Streaming option is whether they can install both components on a single host. This is not currently supported. Instead, you're required to have at least two nodes in your HANA system, one for the core HANA components, and a second for the Smart Data Streaming option. What about software? The number one consideration for software when installing a Smart Data Streaming system is that both hosts within the HANA system are required to be the same operating system and version. To download your SAP HANA software, you need to go to the SAP Software Download Center. Under Installations and Upgrades, if you go to the alphabetical index, you will want to look under H for HANA. You will then need to download both the SAP HANA Platform Edition and the SAP HANA Smart Data Streaming component. We recommend putting both components under a single root directory. For example, here we have put both the database and Smart Data Streaming components under an SAP Downloads directory. You are also required to have a shared storage system that is accessible for read-write access from both the core HANA host and the Smart Data Streaming host. But what if you have an existing HANA install? What changes? Well, if your existing HANA system is version SPS 08 or earlier, then you will be required to upgrade that to SPS 09 before installing the Smart Data Streaming component. So let's look at the installer. Here we have the graphical installer for SAP HANA. When you start up in the installer, it shows you a list of components that the installer can see. In particular here, we're looking for the SAP HANA Smart Data Streaming component. If for some reason that component was not shown, but you have already downloaded it, then you can click on Add Component Location to specify the additional directory for the installer to look in. You have the option of installing a new system, or if you already have a HANA system installed, you would have the option of updating that existing system. You are also prompted for the components you wish to include in your install. In this case, in addition to the core HANA database, I'm also choosing to install the HANA database client and the Smart Data Streaming component. Since the Smart Data Streaming component runs on a separate node within your HANA system, you will need to add the host parameters for that second node. When adding the host parameters, make sure you specify the streaming role for this additional node. Those are the key requirements when working through the installer for your SAP HANA system, including Smart Data Streaming. There are some additional passwords you'll also be prompted to answer, but these are the highlights specific to Smart Data Streaming. Having completed the install process, I'm sure you'll be looking for additional information on Smart Data Streaming, and there is detailed documentation on Smart Data Streaming and its features at help.sap.com/HANA_options_SDS for Smart Data Streaming. Thank you very much for watching this SAP HANA Academy video on the installation of SAP HANA Smart Data Streaming.